sustains us. All that food is called as anna. It need not be one made out of rice only. Now this we call it as Artha Sankocha. Artha Sankocha. There is a meaning of the word has been narrowed down. It happens in language. We speak about it in linguistics. Actually, anna means that which gives us life. But it has been restricted to only that which is made out of rice. So this we call it as Artha Sankocha. Narrowing down of the meaning of a word. Artha Sankocha. Ashniyat Ashubhakshane. Dvishan Dvishataha. Both have got the same root. Dvisha Apritav. Priti is to love, to like. Apriti is opposite of it. Doesn't like. And there is an element of hatred. And from that only comes the word Dvesha. Dvesha we are familiar with. We don't like, dislike. Enmity, hatred. Now here, it says this Atharva 9.6.24. It says, when you are eating, hate no one and don't get hated also. So when you are eating, we should be very calm, peaceful, and then eat. We should not eat under stress of anything. Now here the stress they are referring to is that hatred. Now it is a well-known fact that we are what we eat. We are what we eat. That is, the food what we eat has been classified into Sattvic, Rajasic and Tamasic. Sattva, Rajo, Tamas. Now what is the impact of it on our body, mind and other things? The instrument what we use. It's as simple as this. If I got a petrol car, I cannot put diesel. Of course, diesel is also a fuel. But when it is a petrol car, we have to use petrol only. If you use diesel, something else will happen. Similar to that. It's an instrument. It needs certain things. And what it needs and how it works, it depends on the fuel what you give. Food is the fuel. So one simple Ayurvedic sentence you can take. Sattvam Jnanam. Sattvam Jnanam. Tamaha Ajnanam. Sattvam Jnanam. Tamaha Ajnanam. Ragadvesho Rajaha. Sattvam Jnanam. Tamaha Ajnanam. Ragadvesho Rajaha. It's very simple. If I consume sattvic food, yes, it's a fuel for my knowledge. I can think, I can analyze, and my knowledge will grow. And for that process, the right fuel is the sattvic food. So sattvic food will help us to have processes related to knowledge. So it is an input to the brain activity. Sattvam jnanam. Totally the opposite is tamaha ajnanam. So when we take tamasic food, then our mind will not work. It becomes dull. It becomes sleepy, lethargic. That is tamasic food. Rajasic food, it is extremes. Either it will be too active, hyperactive, or dull, hyperactive. So what will happen when we are not able to control it? It will be too happy, we jump. It will be too depressed, fall down and cry. Either we love them very much, infatuation we can say, or we hate them to the same extent. It's all extremes, no balance. And suddenly the moods change. And that's the nature of Rajasic food. Sattvam jnanam, tamaha ajnanam, raga dveshav rajaha. In simple things I explained. So when you are taking food, two things we have to check. The nature of food, what I am taking. It should be sattvic. Because knowledge is supreme for a man's life, for a human being. Number two, the person who is consuming food also should be in a state of comfort and peace. You should not hurry. You should not read something and while reading just eat mechanically, or see something on maybe TV or this or that and eat mechanically, or think of hatred and eat, or think of so many desires, kama, afflicted by kama and eat. Even though the food is sattvic, the mental status of the person who is eating will again affect it. Two things we have to match. We have to take food with gratitude. Thank God for having given this. Thank the farmer who has grown it. And with that gratitude, if I eat, focusing all my faculties on the food what I eat, yes, that sattvic food will give me the required result. So two things we have to match, the food and the consuming that food. Annamashniya. Now there is one more Ayurvedic sentence from the Ayurveda Shastra that you can note down. It says, Shatru Satra Ganakirna. Shatru Satra Ganakirna. Shatru Satra Ganakirna. Ganika Panikashanam. Ganika Panikashanam. Within brackets, Tyajet. Ganika Panikashanam Tyajet. Shatru Satra Ganakirna. Ganika Panikashanam Tyajet. Tyajet within brackets. Illodali Brugo, ಇದು ಹೇಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹ್ಯಾಂಗ್ ಔಟ್
ಮಮ ತ್ಯಜೇತ ಯಜೇತ ಮಮ
ತ್ಯಜೇತ್ ಬಿಡುವಂತದ್ದು ತ್ಯಜೇತ್ you should leave out, you should not consume. Ashana is food, ತ್ಯಜೇತ್ don't take it, don't eat it. Where conditions are there. Number 1, Shatru Satra. Number 2, Ganakirna. Next one, Ganika. Next one is Panika. Shatru Satra Gana Kirna Ganika Panika Ashanam Tejet. So don't have food at these places. Number one is Shatru Satra. Shatru Satra is the place of an enemy. That is the same thing we are discussing. That's where there is no love, where there is no liking. That we call it as Shatru Satra. So in the Shatru Satra, don't have food. Because they don't have any friendship with you. There is no harmonious relationship with you. So something may happen when you consume food there. Maybe they deliberately poison also, doesn't matter. So that Shatru is either way. Maybe you don't like them, don't have food there. Maybe they don't like you, don't have food there. Shatru Satra. Gana Kirna, marketplace, it's not hygienic. Lot of people will be going here and there, and lot of dust and other things will be there, and there is all the scope for all sorts of infections and food getting poisoned. So don't have food there.
Marketplace
Ganika. So the direct meaning of the word Ganika is a prostitute or a whore, W-H-O-R-E. So the meaning of it is, don't have food when you are in excitement, when you are in desire. You should be calm and peaceful, and only then you can take food. If you are full of desires, if you are full of anger, emotions, don't have food. It will not sustain you. Last one, Panika, where food is sold. Maybe a restaurant, maybe a hotel, something like that. Don't have food there. They are very clear, because if you have food there, the person there is interested in getting money by selling the food, and he may not be interested in maintaining the health and hygiene and taste of the food. So there is all the possibility that when you take food in all these places, you getting poisoned. Food poisoning. Shatru Satra Gana Kirna Ganika Panikashanam Tejet. Now I'm interested in the first part. That's what we have got in this Athara mantra. It says, where there is no friendship, where there is no love, where there is no care, don't have food. Number one. Number two, the mood in which you have to take the food has to be free from disliking, enmity or hatred. If you hate someone, and in that mood if you take food, if you are hated and if you take food in that mood, no, that food will not sustain you. This is one way of looking at this. The other way of looking at the same piece of the Veda mantra is, the same mantra. Say, I am having that hatred at the time of taking food. That means the food what I take is full of dislike, is full of enmity, and there is nothing but the non-vegetarian food. I would have killed an animal. And that I am taking it as my food. So killing is nothing but hatred, enmity. So the food what you are getting is out of your hatred, out of your dislike. So don't have such food. The other way of looking at it is, Say if I earn my food in the wrong way, not in the right way, pious way, noble way, then people who are hurt by that way of my living will always curse me. They don't love me, they don't like me. This fellow has cheated us, this fellow has harmed us, and so has his wealth. And out of that he is eating it. So they will not have a friendly attitude with me because I have earned it by hook or crook. So they will all hate me, they will not like me. So the food what I am taking will not help me live, will not sustain me, will not give me what it should give. Whereas if I earn my food in the right way, then I have got nobody to curse me, nobody to hate me. Because they know that, okay, he has worked it out and he has earned it in the right way, God bless him. Okay, let him be happy. So the food what I am taking is neither hated nor I hate anyone. So in this way, if I consume my food, yes, that food, in particular that sattvic food, will really help me out. Will really sustain me, will give me what I need. The knowledge, the health, and everything. So non-veg food is not prescribed, and food earned in the wrong way is not prescribed. The ultimate result is earn your food in the right way without harming any other creature. Na dvishan ashniyat, na dvishataha annam ashniyat. Now elsewhere in the same Atharvaveda we have got, that I have given to you, Annam avisham krunomi. Annam avisham krunomi. That is, I will make your food free from poison. Annam avisham krunomi. Now this is very relevant for the present day. In agriculture today we use lot of insecticides, pesticides, fungicides, so many things, all sides. So the idea behind all this thing is to kill the insects, the pests and so many things. So that killing attitude is what is called as dvesha. Let them share, let them share. Give the share of the other living beings, other creatures, and whatever is there, that is your share, you take it. But if you want to take all the produce for yourself and kill all insects, pesticides and other things, then it's all due to dvesha, apriti. You don't love them. You give it their share. That is love. Maybe what I get will be less. Maybe I may lose 10%, 20%, even 30% of the produce. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You are living with other creatures. They too have got a right to live as you have. They too have got a right to food as you have. Why not you recognize? If you recognize, then it is priti, love, affection. But if you want everything, you are too selfish. You are not sharing anything with anybody else, any creature, so that is apriti, dvesha. So consuming such food also will not sustain you. Maybe physically it may sustain a little, mentally it will not, spiritually definitely not. The food what I take should help me in all these three levels: physical, mental and spiritual. So all these things have to be considered before we grow food, before we buy food and before we eat food. We have got a mantra which is to be chanted before taking food at any point of time. There it says, Dvipade Chatushpade. That means whatever food we take should be in such a way that it should sustain me and it should not come in the way of any other creature having its food. It may be Dvipade, biped, or Chatushpade, quadruped. That is all other than human beings. So we should share our food and we should not snatch anybody's food by force. So these are all the things which are there in this mantra, read with different other mantras which are complementary to this. That mantra we will see little later, the whole mantra. So, finally the first statement what I made illustrate. We are what we eat. We are what we eat. So that's the final conclusion. If I eat sattvic food, yes, I think in a sober way. I think in a humane way. If I am not able to do so, then my mind gets corrupted. The body is susceptible for all sorts of food poisoning. So you should be very careful while taking food. Then, na pratimanamasti, next one. Na pratimanamasti, na pratishtihi, na pratimanamasti, na pratishtihi. Rigveda 6.18.12. Rigveda 6.18.12. Na pratimanamasti, na pratishtihi. It's very clear, very clear. Pratimanam. Pratimanam means that which is equal. Mana is to measure. That which is equal in measure. Na is not there. Na pratimanamasti. Pratishtihi shtha gati nivruttav. There is nothing which is equal to it and has a standing. Pratishtihi. Now the whole context is about Satchidananda. Satchidananda doesn't have a pratimana, something which is equivalent to it in the form of an idol. Or it doesn't have something which is opposite to it and can stand equal to it. Pratishtihi. No. God is formless. Very clearly it is said here. He is not an idol. He doesn't have a shape. He is nirakara in all respects. Because there is nothing equal to it. There is nothing equal to it in measure, in structure. Very clearly it is said here. Na pratimanamasti, na pratishtihi. And how do you find God? A simple thing. Say I've got an idol before me, say made out of stone, let me say. This idol made out of stone is the work of a sculptor. A sculptor has carved this idol out of the stone. So the product what I have got is not God, but to sculpt this stone idol, we need stone, and the power which has created that stone is God. We have to go behind. I think you got my point. So I have got a wooden idol. That idol is not God. But to create this idol, I have used the raw material that is wood, and wood is not manufactured by me in any factory. That wood is manufactured in Satchidananda's factory only. So the manufacturer of wood is God and not what we carve out of wood. So this is a very simple thing what we have to understand. And of course, I have been telling, and now also I tell you, Vedas never accept idol worship. It says God is nirakara because he is omnipresent. That which has got an akara cannot be omnipresent. It will have its own restrictions because of its non-omnipresence. But when it is omnipresent, then there is no restriction and it cannot be bound in any idol. Now the one what I would like to say here is, suppose any of you have got a lot of belief in idol worship. I am not speaking about that. I am not denouncing that. But I am telling what Vedas say. That's all. Vedas never accept idol worship. Vedas never look at God as an idol. It looks at God as a power which is omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient. So if you are committed to Vedas and Vedic guidance, yes, we cannot be doing idol worship. Or maybe since our childhood we have been taught, okay, this is God, this is God, this is God, and they would have shown us the idol or maybe a photo or some such thing. To come out of it, yes, it's a tough job. But if we are after truth, or truth seekers, one day or the other we have to come out of it. Now it depends upon the individual's effort. Okay, it's up to you. As far as people in our house are concerned, we don't have any idol in our house, we don't have any photo. We understand God as power, we understand God as an omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent power, and we try our level best to experience that God within us, because God is everywhere. This is what we have been doing, in line with, in tune with the Vedic guidelines. Now to what extent you can adopt it, okay, it's up to you and your effort. But think over, God is not something to be found outside. God is something to be experienced inside. Now whatever is tangible or visible or can be experienced through our sense organs, I have told earlier itself it's called Sat, not Satchidananda. It is Sat. Sat only is the one which is perceivable by our sense organs. Satchit also we cannot perceive through our sense organs, and definitely not Satchidananda. If I see something and say that is God, it's a mistaken understanding. Sat as Satchidananda. If I can hear something, it is Sat. If I am able to touch something, it is Sat. But Satchidananda is beyond that. Satchidananda is a wonderful experience within us, and there is the experience of peace and bliss. For experiencing this peace and bliss, the sense organs are not required. No instrument is required. Sharira Indriya Manas is not required. Sharira Indriya Manas is a tool to Jivatma to have contact with the external world. But it is not a tool for the Atma or the Jivatma to experience God. To experience God, no tool is required. So this we have to understand. And the same thing is explained here. Na pratimanamasti, na pratishti. Now pratimana or pratishti is something which is perceivable by our sense organs, which is tangible. It's tangible. Pratimana is tangible, pratishti is tangible, but God is not tangible. God is intangible. God has to be experienced within us in the form of peace and in the form of bliss and in the form of contentment, trupti. So you have the feeling of trupti, the feeling of shanti, and the feeling of ananda. Yes, that is realization of God. And it has to happen within us and not external. If it becomes external, it becomes a subject for our sense organs, it becomes tangible, and we are all discussing about only Sat, not Satchidananda. It's a very subtle way of understanding things. Now to understand this and move towards truth, or to stay where we are, or to still believe in idol worship because we have been trained since our childhood, okay, it's all left to an individual's understanding, comprehension and effort. Na pratimanamasi na pratishti. It clearly says there is no idol. There is something which is equal to it in measurement. And there is nothing which stands, the pratishti stands as something equal to that Satchidananda. There is no such thing. Rigveda 6:18-12. That's not difficult. It's not difficult to realize God. We should not search for God outside. That's the only problem we have got. Inside, if I am pious, if I am noble, if I try my level best to purify my self, that is Atman, yes, once it becomes pure, yes, I will be able to experience that peace in me. Whatever happens externally is immaterial. That has no role to play. The internal peace, what I experience, is realization of God. But to experience it, yes, my soul has to be free from impurities. Impurities, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, the 6 internal enemies. So to get rid of them or to tame them and make our internal self, that is the soul, purer and stronger, yes, then and there we will be able to experience God in the form of peace of mind, in the form of bliss, in the form of contentment. Now and then we have experienced it. It's not that we have not experienced it, but that experience has not stood with us, and within a short while it just flies off. But realization of God in this way, what we have already experienced, we have to hold on to it. We have to stick on to it. It's possible. It's possible. And this, if we continue, we become stronger and purer, and one day we will be out of this birth and death cycle, and we will have only that experience of peace and bliss for crores of years, and that is called as salvation, mukti, moksha, whatever it is. It's purely an internal journey. I repeat, it's purely an internal journey. It's purely an internal experience, not something to be searched for externally. This is very important. Because externally, what all you are able to see through your sense organs, it's all Sat, and there is no Sachit, there is no Sachidananda in it. So that's what exactly this mantra says. Next one. Nasadaseen no sadasit. Nasadaseen no sadasit. Nasadaseen no sadasit. Rigveda 10.129.1 10.129.1 ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಧ ಲೋಟ ನೀರು ಕೊಡು ಮಗು. ಇಂದು ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಧ ಲೋಟ ನೀರು ಬೇಕು. ಆಯ್ಕೊಂಬರ್ತೆ. ನಾಸದಾಸೀನ್ ನೋ ಸದಾಸೀತ್. Rigveda 10.129.1. Now this mantra takes us to the creation of this whole universe. Many people believe that Vedas are, say, prayers in the form of hymns to gods and goddesses. They believe that they are mantras to be chanted while doing this puja, that's Mangalarati or something like that. Some people believe that they are mantras to be chanted maybe during a marriage or Upanayanam. Just chant it, fine. And very few people understand Veda as a scientific text, and that's a problem we have. But Vedas speak about science that is relevant to day-to-day life, and it speaks about this way we have to take our step in our life. It is 100% relevant to our day-to-day life, and it answers lot of our questions. They have got lot of questions about this world, about ourselves, about God, about what to do, about what not to do. So many things. All these questions are answered by Vedas in a very, very scientific and logical way. Now this is an example. Na sadasi, no sadasi. At one point of time or the other, we are all bogged down by a few questions like, what is this world? Who created this? How this was created? Why they created me? What is my role in this universe? And what is the purpose of the life I am into? So many such questions. Is there God? And how this whole world was created? What is the raw material? How it was created? What is the logic behind it? What is the process behind it? At one point of time or the other, these questions have haunted us. Now this 129th Sukta of Rigveda in the 10th Mandala will answer all those questions very, very logically. Now this is comparable with the modern science giving lot of or put forthing lot of theories regarding the creation of the universe. They speak of black holes, they speak of the Big Bang theory, they speak of so many such things. The whole world and the life came from what is called a protoplasm. So they speak of so many things. But this theory, what we have got in the Vedas, seems to be at the top of all such theories which speak about the creation of the world. This I am not just boasting or just speaking something high of Vedas. When I explain it, yes, you will be able to understand how logical and how scientific it is. That is Nasadasi, no, so it's only the beginning of that mantra. That is 10.129.1. In the first mantra, this is the beginning. Now in this 129 Sukta, we have got 7 mantras. Now all the 7 mantras, yes, we will be studying a little later, but the gist of it I will give you, taking this beginning of that mantra as a cue. Now it says, then. Now what is that then? That is the point of creation. At the point of creation, that is then. Now once again, what is that point of creation? Now we have been discussing about Sat, Satchit and Satchidananda. Now Sat, Satchit and Satchidananda, they are beginningless and endless. That way I say, Anadi, Ananda. They just exist. This we have discussed. So creation of Sat, creation of Satchit, creation of Satchidananda is not there. Is not there. Because they just exist from time immemorial, whether you go backwards, whether you go forwards. Anadi, Ananda. They just exist. So these are the 3 entities that we are discussing about. And these 3 entities exist. That's all. They are not created. And every one of them did not create the other one. That also I told you. They are independent. Satchidananda did not create Satchit. Satchidananda did not create Sat. Sat was there. Satchidananda was there. Satchit was there. Satchit did not create the other 2. All the 3 existed independently, and is existing independent will also exist independently. For their existence, there is no dependency, there is no condition. They are all quite independent. Now these are the 3 basic entities. This I told you very earlier. That is, one is Sat, another one is Satchit, another one is Satchidananda. And they are distinct, they have got their own distinct qualities. Sat just exists. Satchit exists and is aware of its existence. Satchidananda, it exists, aware of its existence, and also it is bliss incarnate. So this we have been discussing. Now, then at the point of creation we are speaking of, there we should have only these 3 and nothing else. Only these 3. Sat, Satchit, Satchidananda. 3 different entities. Now there in this mantra they discussed now how they were. Sat was not in the form of the Panchabhautika world as we are seeing. This world was not there. Before creation we are speaking of. Before creation of this world, this universe, there was no Panchabhutas, but we had something which could have been a raw material for this Panchabhuta. Now what was that form? So in mantra it says, It was Ambhaha. Ambhaha. That's the word what they give. If I compare it with the modern understanding, say they say the whole world is made up of elements, periodic table, 108 plus elements. Okay, each element made up of atoms, and each atom containing subatomic particles like neutron, proton, electron. Okay, and this is an age-old concept. Then later, out of what neutrons are made up of, protons and electrons are made up of. So studied, and they got what they called as mesons. Then they called them as quarks. And today we have reached that place where they are called as Higgs boson particle. And that they call it God particle. Other name for it is God particle. Higgs boson particle. Deva Kana. In Sanskrit, Deva Kana. Kana is the minutest thing, particle, and that they are called as God particle. And I say God particle is the main raw material for the construction of these subatomic particles and the atoms and the elements, and out of these elements the whole world. This is where the modern science stops. Still they have a question. What is the content of this God particle? Out of what God particle is made? Okay, tomorrow they may find out and say something. Then the next question, out of what that is made up of? Okay, they give an answer. What is that made up of? Now where do you end? There is no end for it. You go on asking, out of what it has come, out of what it has come, out of what it has come. Now, this series of questions, where I cannot stop anywhere, and it goes on. This is called as Anavastha Dosha. Anavastha Dosha. In this Vedic science, they call it as Anavastha Dosha. That is the problem which is unending. It's a problem which is unending. At one point of time, you have to stop somewhere and come forward. If you go on asking such questions, there is no end for it. So you will never arrive at any conclusion. And this not arriving at any conclusion at any point of time is called as Anavastha Dosha. A disorganized error. Disorganized error, they call it as. It's an error. At one or the other point, we have to stop. Now the Vedas take us and tell us you stop at this point, and there the raw material for the whole universe or the basic structure of the Sat, they call it as Ambhaha. And they say you stop here. If you don't stop, there is no end to it. Deliberately you have to stop somewhere and you stop here, that is Ambhaha. That is a basic form of Sat. Out of this Ambhaha, okay, we have got the Panchabhutas, and out of these Panchabhutas, we have got the whole universe, the physical world, the inner world. And in this mantra they say, Na asat asit, na sat asit. You cannot say there was nothing. You cannot say there was nothing. That is, it was not total vacuum. Shunya. There was no shunya. There was no abhava. And at the same time, we don't, or we never had at that point of time, anything structured. Any system also was not there. System also was not there. And it was not vacuum. Something was there. That's what it says. And that something we call it as Ambhaha. At that point of creation, there are only three that I have told you. Sat, Satchit, Satchidananda. Fine. Sat was there. Sat was there. It was not a vacuum. But the Sat was not in the form we know now. After creation, it was in its earlier raw form. And that they called it as Ambhaha. Ambhaha. Now, how do you understand Ambhaha? We deliberately stop there. What is Ambhaha made up of? We are not asking. When we start asking like that, there is no end to it. We give an answer, what is that made up of, what is that, it goes. It's an unending chain. So it's very clear that we stop there, Ambhaha, and we try to understand what is this Ambhaha and come forward. Using this Ambhaha, this came, this came, this came. We are coming in the forward direction. We are not going backwards. We stop there. And stopping like this deliberately so that we will understand things forward. Now this we call it as axiom, Siddhanta. Siddhanta, axiom, postulate, assumption. Yes, these are the words even the modern science uses. It says this is the assumption, upon it we proceed. These are the axioms upon which we proceed. And they are very clear and defined. You can look into a dictionary also. Axiom, postulate, assumption, they are all statements made and accepted without proof. You cannot prove everything. At one point we have to stop and say, okay, this I accept, now tell me what is to be done. So this accepting without proof is what we call as axiom, assumption, postulate. It's part of any study. It's part of any research. You call it as a modern science, you call it as ancient science. That doesn't matter. If you are studying, if you are after truth, at one point of time we have to accept certain axioms, certain postulates, certain assumptions, and only then we can proceed, not otherwise. So the basic assumption, what is there in this mantra, it is the whole world is made up of Ambhaha. That's the raw material. Ambhaha is the basic building material of the whole universe, which you are calling it as Sat. Now it was not in any form. No form, no structure, no Panchabhuta, no Akasha, no Vayu, no Agni, no Jala, no Prithvi. It's an earlier form of it. That we call it as Ambhaha. And you cannot say at that point of there was nothing. There was something, but no system. It was in its most raw form. That's Ambhaha. Now, how do you understand Ambhaha? That's a very interesting thing. That's what we have got in this first mantra, Ambhaha. Again, we have to go back to the root to understand it well. The root of the word Ambhaha is Apulra Vyaptav. Apulra Vyaptav. From that Apulra Vyaptav is derived the word Ambhaha. Apulra Vyaptav. Now, what does that dhatu mean, the root mean Apulra Vyaptav? That which can expand, that which can cover, that which can grow. That's it, Apulra Vyaptav. Now they give deeper, they go deeper. Now for this Vyapti, for this covering, for this expansion, we need two very, very essential things. Number one, it is called throbbing. It is not static. It is not without movement, but it has got movement, and that we may call it as throbbing. Or another word for it is pulsating. There's one quality you should have. And that is derived from this ocular vyapta only. Pulsating or throbbing. And second one is its capacity to mix with other things. Join hands with other things. This we call it as in the modern science, valency. Valency. So, pulsating and valency are the two main features of this Ambha. And only where we have got this valency and this throbbing, yes, we can expect it to grow, expand, join with other things.
Main qualities of Ambha.
Modern science accepts this 100%, but it cannot go as deep as the Vedas have gone. But these two things, they just accept it. That's what they speak of. So at the subatomic level, what they say is, this neutron and proton, they form the nucleus. Whereas electron is always on the move, right? It moves around the nucleus in different orbits. It doesn't rest. Electrons never rest. They just move and move and move. Then what happens? They want a stable position. So to be stable, either they give out electrons and become stable, or take electrons and become stable. That giving or taking is what I am calling it as valency, and that's what I am calling it here as Ambha, which has got these two features. It is continuously throbbing, pulsating, number one. Number two, it always has got a tendency to join with its counterpart. And once it reaches a stable position, it becomes inert. That's what we got in the periodic table. The last column, what we got in the periodic table, they are all inert elements. They have reached a stable configuration. That's what they say. So once it reaches its stable configuration, its reaction with other things, it is very less, very, very less. Whereas until it has reached that stable configuration, yes, it has got a great tendency to join with other elements. The root of all these concepts is in this Ambha, that one single word which is brought out from the Dhatu, ocular vyapta. So Ambha is one which has got that throbbing and the nature to join with the other things. That's valency. Shanti Madam is there online? Shanti Madam?
Yes, Sharma ji, I am muted.
ನಾವು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳೋದು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ತುಡಿತ ಮತ್ತು ಸೆಳೆತ. ತುಡಿತ is a throbbing. Shelata is a capacity to mix with other things. Shelata, that is valency. It could be either way. It may get pulled by other things or it can pull other things. So this Tudita Shelata ಯಾವುದಲ್ಲದೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂಬಾ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ.
Okay.